The tavern is alive with the roar of conversation and the clinking of mugs when the doors slam open. A sudden gust extinguishes half the candles, plunging the room into a dim, flickering half-light. The chatter halts, a collective pause as every head turns toward the doorway. You see him, standing there, framed by moonlight. His silhouette cuts a striking figure, his presence heavy with authority and mischief. For a moment, he doesn't move, letting the anticipation build. Then he steps inside, and the air seems to hum with something unspoken, something magical. As he enters, you notice details that make him impossible to ignore. His deep burgundy coat, embroidered with golden laurel leaves, shimmers faintly, as though it carries the glow of the Feywild itself. Across his back hangs an axe-bladed guitar, a weapon and an instrument in one, its polished wood gleaming under the flickering candlelight. Then you hear it, a faint, spectral drumbeat. It's so soft you wonder if you're imagining it, but it grows louder, steady and deliberate, like a heartbeat. The sound weaves through the air, joined by the faintest whisper of stringed instruments. The tavern grows silent, the energy shifting to something almost reverent. The man, an Eladrin, smiles as he surveys the room, his green eyes glinting with playful confidence. "Good evening, my friends," he says, his voice smooth and rich, each word dripping with charm. He strides to the center of the room, his movements graceful, deliberate. As he passes, you swear you see wisps of light trailing behind him, flickering like embers before fading away. He stops in the center of the tavern, unslings the guitar, and strikes a single note. The sound is unlike anything you've heard before. It vibrates through the room, resonating deep within you, pulling at something primal and ancient. Around him, the spectral music swells. The drum beat grows stronger, a ghostly violin joins in, and the faint strumming of a lute dances on the edges of perception. You can't look away as he begins to sing. His voice is low at first, a storyteller's cadence, painting the scene of an ancient battlefield. You can see it in your mind's eye. Blazing sunlit plains, banners snapping in a violent wind, and a lone figure standing against an unstoppable tide. The music builds, and suddenly it's as if the tavern itself has become that battlefield. The air feels electric, heavy with the echoes of marching soldiers and clashing steel. Your breath catches. This isn't just a song, it's a memory, alive and pulsing, shared by a man who seems to carry the weight of centuries in his voice. The music crescendos, his voice rising as he recounts the hero's final defiant stand. Then, with a single strum, it all falls silent. The tension hangs in the air, the story's weight pressing down on you. For a moment, no one moves. Then the room erupts into cheers and applause, the crowd roaring as though they themselves had just triumphed in battle. You watch as the man leans casually against a chair, his smile easy and self-assured. The cheers wash over him, but he doesn't seem surprised. This, you realise, is what he does. He takes the ordinary and makes it extraordinary, weaving magic and music into something unforgettable. At the edge of your vision, you catch something strange. A pair of drumsticks floating briefly in the air before setting themselves neatly on a table. There's no one there to hold them. For a moment, you wonder if you imagined it. Then you shake your head, still caught in the spell of the performance. Whoever this man is, he's no ordinary bard. You can't decide whether to raise your mug in his honour or watch your purse more carefully. Maybe both. "Apologies, my friends," he says as a grin dances across his face. "It appears I have neglected to introduce myself. My name is Mav Silvara, but you can call me